This is More to Say with Randy Naughton. Interesting conversations with interesting people.
And we welcome you back to another edition of More to Say with Randy Naughton. It's a podcast where we have interesting conversations with interesting people. And I'd like to thank you all for supporting us over, the last couple of years or so. We've hit the 100 episode mark. That's crazy. And it's really awesome. And we're having a great time. And we've had some amazing guests on. Entertainers, celebrities, authors, athletes, you name it. Just really great, fun conversations. Some of them interesting. Some of them you come back going, wow, that's a head scratcher. But we try to do some things and talk about things that matter to people. I say that, on TV, I only had like 3 minutes to get all the info in. Here, we're allowed to peel back the layer of the onion and get all the information that we can. So that is why we are here today. And of course, I would like to thank our sponsors. We are thanking Dr. Joe from STL Medical Weight Loss. If you're looking for a new you in the new year, look at stlmedweightloss.com. It's telemedicine. They can help you out. Give them a call, jump on their website, at least check it out, feel the Dr. Joe difference. TeamJakey.org is a local 501c3 hoping to end the stigma of mental illness. And they started this organization after a tragedy in their own family, after their loved one took his own life. And they said, you know what? Yes, it's terrible. Yes, we are suffering. Yes, we love and miss him. But we're going to try to help people through something like this as well and hopefully prevent suicide. And then also my podcast partner, Logan Giannis, who is also the host of the Mostly Superheroes podcast. And they have their finger on the pulse of what's happening in St. Louis. They're fun guys. They have giveaways. They have newsletters. It's fun and punchy. And Logan is the person who kind of connected me with everybody, the Zeller family, at teamjakey.org. And teamjakey.org is very closely connected with another organization in St. Louis, and we're going to talk with them now. It is Provident Behavioral Health here in St. Louis, and we are talking with Kevin Drollinger. He is the Executive Director of Provident, and LaTanya Mackey, who is the Associate Director of Counseling. Kind of a long intro, but welcome. How are you?
Great today. Thanks for having us today.
Of course, the sun is shining in January. We can ask for no more. All right, let's first and foremost check in with you, Kevin, and talk about Provident Behavioral Health. Many people may not know how long it's been around. More than a century and a half in St. Louis. What?
That's exactly right. Actually, Provident is one of the oldest not-for-profits west of the Mississippi. We were founded in 1860, so we go back a long, long, long ways. And some of the things that your listeners may not know is that because we've been around for so long, and part of the reason we've been around for so long is because the Provident leadership generations before LaTanya and me were here and part of Provident, folks always made sure that Provident was being relevant for the community. So way back when, we helped start the Brown School of Social Work at Washington University. We helped start the Visiting Nurse Association. We helped start the Urban League, and we were one of the original partners, which was now the United Way. And we're still actually a partner, a safety net agency for United Way as well. But one of the things that might be particularly interesting for your listeners is because we've had so many different generations, we have done many different things to help the community. But everything that we do, especially the last couple of decades now, is about behavioral health, all the way from younger kiddos all the way to folks who are approaching 100 years of age and everything in between. And LaTanya can talk more about some of the specifics around that. But we're embedded as part of the community. We really appreciate being part of that community.
It is amazing that it started the way it did, and now the tentacles of Provident are prominent and relevant in so many other offshoot organizations. That's really something to be proud of.
We are indeed. One of the nice things too is sometimes parts of not-for-profits outlive their usefulness, and I can give you a bit of a chuckle about that. Well over 100 years ago, Provident even then recognized that helping the whole person is an important thing, and certainly nutrition is part of that. So at one point, apparently, Provident had a cow, a live cow by the name of Nellie. And what would happen is that they would send Nellie to local neighbors so that they could help give fresh milk and nutrition for their families. Now, thankfully, that's still Nellie is no longer at Provident. Nellie, I don't know where Nellie went, but
I'm sure
we
Nellie's
do.
long gone.
We've found many other ways to help now, the community as well. But it's been fun to see the generational changes within Provident that mirror what's happened in our community.
I love that story. And you saw me light up. I love animals and I love cows in particular. So that story is fabulous. I love the story of Nellie. We're going to get back with you, Kevin, to talk about an amazing event coming up in a few weeks at the Chase Park Plaza Hotel, Providence' biggest fundraiser, for which I am a proud part of it. We will talk about that in a moment. But we're going to talk to LaTanya right now. You kind of have your hands in all of the cookie jars of all the programs that you guys provide and offer. So why don't you kind of give us a laundry list of, first of all, what you offer and who you serve?
Well, I'll start with who we serve because I think that's important. As Kevin said, lots of nonprofits in the community serve for particular reasons, and I think that we're here for behavioral health, but we're here for behavioral health for all. And so, if anyone can come to us and they're having a concern or a mental health crisis in that moment in their life, and they need some support, they can reach out, and our staff can let them know, like, hey, we can help you, and if we cannot help you, then we're going to send you over to someone who we think can. And I think that's really important to say that it's just making a call, and we can either redirect you or let you know that we are support here. So we're here for everyone. But with that being said, we offer counseling services for families, individuals, and youth, older adults, as Kevin said. Here we have 3 metro offices here in the St. Louis area, and we offer telehealth as well. And so people have options, and I really am glad to say that we offer those options. You can be in the comfort of your home and get care, or you can come to our office and have a little bit more privacy, which people say, oh, my kids are at home, I'd rather come in and talk about what's going on with me. But they have those options. So we have that there. And we have funding sources that are available to those who are really in need. And so we have grant funding for youth to get free counseling here. And also adults who have the means can pay using insurance for counseling services, which is really great. And we have a great sliding scale fee for those who may not have insurance or access to insurance. So we have lots of different avenues to come into care here. We also offer psychiatric services for medication management for mental wellness. And so people can get support here for that as well. And honestly, if you just need some support and someone to talk to and you're an older adult, we have programming for that as well. We offer lots of community-based supports, but those people, our staff, are meeting clients where they are. And so people are in schools and community, different organizations and partnerships that we build. But honestly, again, I can't say this enough. If someone needs some support and they're not sure how we can help, they can just call.
And I have the number. I have that phone number. It's 314-533-8200. And we're going to put that at the bottom of the screen so those who are watching this podcast can get it. The number again is 314-533-8200 or online, providentstl.org. I want to ask you, LaTanya, we talk about, and we've heard that, in fact, I think I have a sticker up here that says "End the Stigma," which is, back in the day, nobody talked about it. Somebody's having a nervous breakdown or whatever was going on. We never talked about it. Well, they're just having a problem. Do not talk about it. But now we hear people openly speaking about it. We hear entertainers, athletes, people talking about a mental health crisis that they may have had during a professional football game or during a movie set or in a store, wherever. End the stigma. Are we getting there? Is it working?
I think so. He said we're hearing it publicly, that people are talking about it, and that people are doing things like having podcasts and, internet forums about this to make sure that people understand that this is a normal human experience to have anxiety, to be nervous, to be scared, to be fearful, to be worryful about life and our unknowns in life that are common. And I think it's important to know, one, that it's a common experience. And at least 1 in 5 people will have some sort of mental health crisis in their life or just needing a mental health situation. I don't want to say crisis because I want people to understand that it's okay to have normative everyday feelings that may be uncomfortable. So we'll say situations. But either way, 1 in 5 people, that's pretty much someone that we know or that is within close reach will have that. And so to be able to talk about it and normalize it for folks has been important. I think that's why we see our doors are constantly open and that people are here asking for support and also referring people to support for support and care. So I think that we need to continue the conversation. So thank you for having us today to let people know that this is something that we can do, and also to create awareness of all the ways that mental health can manifest in that. I didn't mention one of our other programs called the Access Center, and that is for urgent mental health needs, because sometimes in the moment you don't know that you need help until you really know, and you need to get in right away before your motivation passes to get the help that you need. So we're here for people if they need urgent same day appointments, and it's just $5 because we want to know that people can get in the door and talk to someone.
Wait, did you say $5?
I said $5.
You can't get anything for $5.
$5, and that is in person or available for telehealth as well. And so we want to get people here, we want to get them connected, and all it takes is that first appointment. And so we wanted to offer a service that allowed people to get through that anxiety of, oh my gosh, I need to ask for help. And while they're saying, yeah, I want to get this help, then I can get it sooner than later. And it's really, really important. And we've been doing that program for almost 6 years now, 6 or 7 years now. And then we've been seeing great results from that. And so I wanted to let your listeners know that that's an option for them too, that if they're feeling the need to do it now, that they can.
Hi, everyone. It's Randy Naughton from the More to Say podcast. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast over the tons of episodes we've done so far. Somebody I want to shout out specifically to is an organization called Team Jakey. They are one of the sponsors of the More to Say podcast, and I couldn't be more grateful to be partnering with them. What is Team Jakey? Well, this family, the Zeller family, knows all too well what it's like to lose somebody to suicide. So that happened to them. Their beloved Jake took his own life. And what they want to do, they've set out on a quest to end the stigma of mental illness. So Team Jakey puts together all these amazing community events year round to help raise the awareness and prevent suicide and end the stigma of mental illness. So we would love it if you followed them on Facebook, Team Jakey and the Stigma. And of course, thank you for supporting the More to Say podcast as well. Team Jakey is one of our partners, and we are so happy to have them on board. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the podcast.
Now you're hearing from us over here on the podcast, Mostly Superheroes. I'm your host, Logan Janis.
Arena Andy. Scotty Scoop.
Sam the Sleeper.
And we're bringing you all the things in St. Louis and beyond, from events and interviews,
sports and movies, comics and games,
to community and news.
All the things that you need to stay informed, have a little fun. It's all happening at mostlysuperheroes.com, and we'll see you there.
Hi, Randy Naughton here, along with Dr. Joseph Molesky, to tell you about St. Louis Medical Weight Loss. You heard about those weight loss shots? Well, I battle high blood pressure, cholesterol, and prediabetes, so I decided to invest in my health.
Visit stlmedweightloss.com or give us a call.
We are talking with the folks from Provident Behavioral Health, 3 locations in the St. Louis area. They've been helping people and servicing people in this area literally for 165 years. Name another organization that does that. I can't think of any. We are talking with the executive director, Kevin Drollinger, and Latanya Mackey, associate director of counseling. And I'll ask this question of either one of you, whomever wants to answer can. When it comes to mental health and seeking help for mental wellness, are there certain socioeconomic groups that you see more than others? Why or why not?
I can certainly take a first stab at that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that probably many of your listeners know is that mental health cuts across all parts of society. Doesn't matter, in fact, if you're very well resourced or if you don't have significant resources. But one thing I can say is that those of us who are well resourced have probably better access to care. And so part of our mission at Provident, both in the vision and the mission of Provident, is we aim to serve those most in need. So because we know there are special hurdles for those that maybe don't have the resource that some of the rest of us might have. So hence the $5 fee that we talked about, that Tanya talked about. And in fact, there are occasions we even waive that if that's just not possible for folks. The only reason Yeah, the only way that we're able to make that happen is through the generosity of the community. And so, for example, one of the things we're most proud about is not only a founding partner agency of United Way, but United Way continues to be very generous. And the community through United Way to us is wonderfully generous. And we have one of the leading United Ways in the country. We're very proud about that. Doesn't get enough good positive press because we seem to hear about the negative things occasionally, and there's a lot of positive stories in this region, and that's certainly one of them.
Yes, indeed. And we are going to talk about the community support here in a minute when we're talking about the Provident Gala happening on February 7th at Chase Park Plaza. We're going to get back to you, Kevin. But I wanted to ask you, LaTanya, we talked about mental health situations. And as the director of counseling, it doesn't necessarily have to get that far, does it? People can kind of preemptively take care of things. Talk about what that means.
I think in ending the stigma, as we were discussing earlier, and recognizing all of the ways that our mental health exists in our world and, the discomfort that we feel, I think in that awareness, we can all say to ourselves, I don't actually want to feel this way. I don't want to get to this, or this happened to my friend, this happened to my coworker, and I can't imagine what my life would be in this case. Or some more common situations are, I'm preparing for my first child and I know that my worry is like getting in the way, or I am going off to college for the first time and I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm going to do to make friends. And my school teacher said I have social anxiety and maybe I should talk to someone. There are some very normative, life-changing events that are exciting, but also kind of scary that we can say, maybe I can talk to someone so that they can teach me skills and help me to learn skills so that I can deal with this in the most healthy and mentally well way as possible. And the way I can enjoy this life change that is exciting and scary and then maybe a little bit anxiety producing.
Is there a program, or are there programs, I should say, where, say a mom or a dad notices their child struggling in school with social anxiety, or I don't want to go to school, maybe for bullying or whatever the case may be. Do you do only individual counseling, or are there groups where they sit with their peers and they share their stories?
We occasionally have groups. It depends on the clients that we have at the time. And so I would say always start off as an individual, and then your therapist can say, I really think that you need a group. And let me see if there's more people interested in this and we can start this group up. But we have had that before. We've had team social groups. We've had groups for younger kids and elementary aged kids. There's little murmur about parenting groups. So we'll see if we can get that kicked off in 2026. But to Kevin's point earlier, we're keeping our pulse on what the community needs. And so it's hard for me to say, we will have this group for this particular thing. It's based off of the people that are coming through our doors. What are they saying they need? And then we can create that to best support them, again, to have a better future and a brighter future.
That is great. You start with the person and then you take it from there. So again, I'm going to give you that phone number once again, 314-533-8200, or you can go to providentstl.org and find out about all their services and what they do. It's a matter of making that simple phone call and seeing if you can utilize the services they provide. So Kevin, we're going to get back to you now about community support. There is a big to-do happening at the Chase Park Plaza, this beautiful ballroom, which I've had the pleasure of being in many times, not only as a guest, but as an MC. I will be your MC for the big gala on February 7th in that room, and it's going to be packed with 500 plus people. Kevin, tell us about it. How many people are actually coming? What's the night going to be like, and what's our goal?
Well, first of all, a huge thanks to you. We're really excited to have you as our MC, and that's going to add even more amplitude to a wonderful event. This is our 11th gala now, and as of yesterday, we were very close to 500 attendees. I understand that we have a few more tickets available, and in fact, early this morning when I came in, our director of advancement told me we just had another table. Somebody called and signed up for another table.
Yes.
I know we still have spots available, and they can find those on the website. So we're really excited about that. So tickets are $195 for people and for folks, and then folks can buy a table or sponsorships, those sorts of things. That's all on our website. One of the nice things about it is the whole night's going to be talking about exactly what you brought up, ending the stigma. The fact of the matter is we're celebrating positive mental health. And part of the way that we do that is that we honor people who have a legacy with Provident, who've helped support the community in so many ways. So, for example, a longtime Provident board member by the name of John Butler, wonderful guy, board chair, is going to be getting our Spirit of Provident Award that evening. We're thrilled about that. Our volunteer of the year is going to be another board member, Marcelli Pyers, who again has done so many amazing things, including helping our women at one of our programs in the Mary Ryder home with volunteer. She came in and did dancing, brought in a whole group that did dancing with the women who reside at Mary Ryder home, and it was one of the fun events that we had last year. And our honorary chairs are two very long-term, wonderful community supporters named Tom and Linda Ray. And again, assembling all of those folks together, we'll have we have great auction items that we have. I think the number is still a bit fluid, somewhere between 7 and 10, but I can tell you, because we have wonderful connections in the community, there are going to be some auction items that have special cardinal tickets, that have special events. I believe there's trips. We also have a golden raffle. The other good thing about it is if folks who are listening to this feel like they want to do something positive in this sea of concern that happens, regardless of where we land, everybody is stressed right now, more so. And so one of the things that to keep yourself healthy, not only personally, and Latanya can talk about that, but also if you can join with your church or a bowling league or a canasta group, or come to a gala like the Provident Gala. And there you can have a lot of fun, and celebrate the fact that we are indeed reducing the stigma, eliminating the stigma.
I want you to know that I donated something to the silent auction. Did you guys know this?
No.
I have I have a one-eyed mini horse named Uno, and I'm not kidding about this. And he goes around to parties, birthday parties, and kids put stickers on him and they brush him and they paint him. And he's the sweetest boy. I rescued him from what's called a kill shelter a number of years ago. And I trained him and the kids go crazy. So Uno is going to be on the auction table. And I will bring Uno to whatever party you want me to bring him to. And the kids can braid him and brush him and paint him. And it's going to be a good time. So there you go.
Well, Uno was much better than trying to bring Nellie back, so I think that works really well for us.
Uno can be the new mascot.
That's exactly right. We'll give him a little Provident banner. That'll be fun.
It'll be really fun. Now, Latanya, Kevin touched briefly on what can we do right now for our own wellness, like me sitting at home today or somebody sitting at home listening to this podcast. What can we do right now to kind of bring us into the space we need to be to start on our mental wellness?
I think it's important for people to think about what it is that they need and what they want and understand that that's not out of reach. Like, I think sometimes we can say, oh, I want to be, I don't want to have any more anxiety, which is what we hear sometimes people say.
That's not happening.
We're like, that's not, exactly. That's not quite realistic, but we can learn to deal with it. But in any of the goals that we set in the beginning of the year, so I'm sure people have set goals for themselves because they want to feel well and they want to be well, is to just give themselves grace. Take time, as Kevin said, have fun with it and understand that there will be some challenges along the way, but that doesn't mean that you're out of reach of your goal. It just means we're learning and we're learning more about ourselves along the way to get to our goals. And I think it's just really important to take your time.
We are all a work in progress, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
We are. Again, if you want to give them a call, it is 314-533-8200. That is Provident Behavioral Health, or you can go on their website, providentstl.org. And now that you've heard all of the amazing things they do for the St. Louis community and have been doing for more than a century and a half in St. Louis, that blows my mind. They're for real. They know what they're doing. And we would love to see you at the Provident Gala on February 7th at the Chase Park Plaza Hotel. I will be your MC. And even though, it can be a heavy subject matter, my job is to bring fun to the room and get your money, because that's what we want to do. We're going to have a good time doing it. So, Kevin, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it. Latanya, thank you. We're going to be having a quick meeting here, I think, next week to kind of go over some things for the gala itself, and we're going to knock it out of the park. I just know we are.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for the opportunity today.
All right, thank you. And of course, thanks to our sponsors. We'd like to thank Mostly Superheroes, my podcast partner, Logan Janis, who helps put it all together and make it look pretty and sound great. And his podcast is called Mostly Superheroes. Just go to mostlysuperheroes.com and find out all the fun things they're doing. Dr. Joe Molesky with STL Medical Weight Loss. If you're looking for a new you in the new year, Dr. Joe can hook you up. Feel the Dr. Joe difference. And of course, teamjakey.org. They too will be at the gala on February 7th. They hope to end the stigma of mental illness and doing all they can in the St. Louis community to end suicide. So thank you so much for joining us today. Until next time.
This has been More to Say with Randy Naughton. Interesting conversations with interesting people. Be sure to like or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.